Okay guys, I am over at my sister's. I made the over 150-mile drive to New Jersey. I ended up here because I got stranded twice. I was making my way to the convention center that I'm dropping off the kids at. It's a League of Legends video game championship, I think. So I dropped them off, but prior to dropping them off, like about a mile from the convention center, the car just completely died. Looked at the code, P011, and prior to that I noted that the cruise control was flashing and that I had a check engine light. So I knew that I was gonna make it because the car felt good and nothing really was out of place. So I figured I could make it to the convention center and then check things out when I got there. So make a long story short, I broke down again after dropping off the kids. So I decided to head over to my sister's, which is she was about maybe 15 minutes away, so that I can visit at the same time trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the car. So everything really points out to it being possible oil issue and or banjo fitting and not getting the proper feed on the turbo. So I didn't notice any smoking. I didn't notice any leaks underneath the car, but I did upon closer inspection, because I still have to make that over 150-mile drive back, and I don't want to end up stalling again. I've actually stalled twice because the car would just cut off. One thing I did notice is that, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is fairly loose, and I'm pretty sure I torqued this thing down. So and the copper washers are there on the top and on the bottom, so this somehow worked its way, or I just did not tighten it down properly. So I may have been hurting my turbo this whole entire time when I'm not getting I'm not able to feed oil from it. But one thing is for sure though, I'm not seeing any sort of leaks coming from here. So we'll see. I'm just gonna tighten this down and see whether or not that's gonna help, and hopefully I don't break down on my trip back this evening to PA. So fingers crossed. So unfortunately, my brother-in-law, all he's got are house tools, but managed to use a set of pliers to tighten up the banjo bolt. So hopefully that's all that is. And if you guys can kind of appreciate who's in the Northeast, being broken down in Newark, New Jersey, not very pleasant, not a good place to be stuck in. But what I'm going to do is I am going to try and start her up and see if I can maybe get any codes and see if she'll even start up. Hopefully one try. Oh, beautiful. Gotta get some air in here, it's pretty hot. Gonna let it idle for a bit, maybe a few minutes, and see what she comes up with on the access port. No codes, so far so good. So hopefully she'll get me home. 100 150 miles away, about 2.5 hours. Then I gotta drive her back again next week. So I think before I do the next week drive, I'm gonna make sure everything is tightened up. I think, you know, the recurring theme on this car is torque. I'm pretty sure I followed that damn shop manual to the T. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna shut it down and wait for my brother-in-law to get back and my sister to get back, and hopefully be able to head home. It's gonna be a night drive and it's gonna be a late drive, so hopefully I don't get stuck. Well, on the side of the road, about 11 o'clock or so, got stranded again. So this time that's still tight, the oil control valve line to the turbo. So gonna let it cool down, see if we can get it started again. Okay guys, so it is the following day. I was able to get her back home. I let it cool down for a bit and cleared the code, and after a couple of cranks she started and I was able to get going after being on the side of the road. It's still the same P0011 code. From what I've read, the oil control valve and or the cam position sensor, everything looks good. I mean, I'm not seeing any leaking. It's no longer, it's still tight. So I'm gonna remove the line this afternoon to see if there's any oil in it. If there isn't, and if it's bone dry, I'm gonna assume there's some blocking going on here. And I'm wondering whether or not, I can't recall whether I have the inline filter here or not, and it may have, I don't know, maybe the braking procedure and some shavings maybe clogged it, or maybe the filter itself, if there is one, is all messed up and creating some blockage. When I started her up yesterday before heading back down here, I did notice some noise coming from the turbo, but it went away after a few seconds. So I'm not quite sure whether or not the turbo is compromised because of oil starvation. But yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can rip it apart tonight and remove the intake, just so that I can get some clearance. Might have to remove this fuel line just to be able to get to, or I could just get a box wrench or an open end wrench to be able to get to this bolt. I was able to do it with pliers yesterday, so I should be able to do that for this, inspect it. And just as an FYI, you guys that's been following the build, these are all new parts, new line, new banjo bolt, new oil control valve. So you know, it's I'm a little confused. And also, when I found this loose, you would expect that there would be some oil leak. So maybe that tells me a bit more, in that there's some blockage going on here, and maybe something is just not flowing properly. So when I did get her to start back up and drive home, I mean, she was fine, felt fine, no noises, no leak, no nothing. So it only seems to happen as a result of a very long drive. And when you come to a stop, even though I have it on neutral, the RPM drops and shuts off. Luckily, on all the times that I've been able to, on all the times that it shut down, I've been able to coast to the shoulder and be safe. So yeah, I'm starting to wonder whether or not, you know, it's you know, this is more trouble than it's worth, but I do love the car. I do love the platform. I know it's troublesome, but you know, I'll take it on me. This is my build, so I can't blame it on the car. So, you know, much like most folks will say that the FD is it's like really unreliable, but if anything, the FD has been the most reliable out of this bunch. Rivals that of the NSX2. So, you know, these two guys, oh, we know what, and the Evo. The Evo is at 180,000 plus, and she's still kicking. Stock everything. No issues, knock on wood. That she'll continue to be that way. And maybe just leave her stock, because I'm afraid that if I start doing stuff to that, it's gonna just, I don't know, give me problems. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go and hopefully spend some time during lunch and later this evening to try and go through and figure out what the heck's going on here. I'm hoping it's not anything wiring related. Maybe it's too close to the block, and it's you know, the harness is any, you know, maybe interference is too close to something else. I mean, I don't know. So and I couldn't even diagnose that at all, because I'm not, you know, I'm good at piecing things together, following a shop manual, but when it comes to anomalies like electrical stuff, it's out of my league. So anyway, hopefully I can find out what's going on. I went ahead and called up, sent them an email actually, and let them know that I won't be going in for tuning this Friday, and see if they can provide me with some pointers on where to look. But no, just the typical, yeah, we took you off the schedule. They don't really want you to help. I mean, they don't really want to help you, I should say, because you know, I mean, it is a shop. They're just probably looking for you to bring it in and for you to use their service. But I mean, you know, I mean, come on, just a little bit of a guidance would go a long way for customer service, and you know, it kind of make you feel good in recommending them for future work on your friend that has Subies. So it kind of left me with a bad taste, because they've done this like the third time already. Not even a hint as to what maybe you should look at. I get it, but can't fault them, I guess, because they do run a business. But anyway, all right, guys. Hopefully, I can provide more of an update and a fix, or you know, next post would be a solution, or finding what it was that caused it. Okay, so I got the old configuration back. Essentially what it is it's a banjo bolt that connects to the head, and connected to a T that runs to the turbo and to the oil control valve. So hopefully the access port stays clean and no more P0011. I'm still betting that's what's causing my issue, and hopefully I didn't really hurt the turbo much. So I'm, you know, crossing my fingers, and I do have the dyno session this Friday still. I called him back and said, you know what, I found the issue, and I'm gonna keep the date, just so that I can get it all tuned up and I can drive her without having to be concerned about boosting and et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that's the last of the issues. And let's see how much mileage I managed to put in yesterday's trip. 465 out of the 1,500 that I need to put in until the next oil change. So hopefully I've worked out all the kinks that's ever going to come up for this Friday's dyno tune. So wish me luck.